Before you think I'm an absolute giant, I'm not. I'm only 6'2", but this, look how compact this cute little vehicle is. This is the Delica D2. I'll just step out of the way, then you can have a closer look at it. And it's designed to be a tiny little compact, it's like a K car, but it's not a K car, this particular one. It's got a 1.2 litre engine that's shared with many European and Japanese models. There's no parts availability issues because of that reason, but you can get all the Japanese parts anyway. And Wellhouse are going to start converting these. This is just a quick look at it to see how it might work as a base vehicle. And I'll take it out on the road and let you know what it drives like, because I've never driven one of these and I'm quite looking forward to it. But in terms of dimensions, tiny thing. I'll pop the dimensions on a graphic, but yeah, what a nice looking little funky, boxy, retro thing. Isn't it cute? And the wheels, they're tiny. What size are they? 15-inch wheels. I think I had 15-inch wheels on my BMX. So yeah, a really compact little vehicle that is ideal for 1 or 2 people and could easily replace a family car. So from the outside, it's quite a cute little thing. I'm not going to show you too much detail. The specs and things will vary for the various models that come through. This particular one has the alloys. I think they're planning to put a small pop-top style roof on there just to give it a bit more space and headroom. It won't be big enough to sleep in. It will just provide a bit more space. As you noticed, the door was electric and it's set up to be a little tiny sort of people carrier at the moment, but it's got loads of leg room. If I jump in the back, it's surprisingly roomy in here. So I think you might be able to get 2 single beds in here. If I just jump over to this side, you might be able to, or just perhaps have 1 bench seat on one side. So I think it'll be for 1 or 2 people at the most. And yeah, loads of headroom. It's quite surprising. I'll just show you. So it'd be interesting to see as a camper. So yeah, it's got lots of little big car features as well, like the automatic closing doors. And if I just pop round to the back, excuse the bit of paintwork, it just needs a bit of prep doing. Little tiny compact boot, and I'm just going to try and pop these down because I think this will give you a bit of a sense of, oh yeah, now then, that is quite a large space, and it's got a flat floor thanks to these seats. So I think with the addition of a swivel base and perhaps a big mattress or something on one side, that's going to work quite well. So yeah, I can see what they're thinking now. So yeah, oh, what's under here? All right, so you've got a little bit of extra storage depth. You might be able to get a leisure battery in there. And look, it's already got a little cute compressor kit for your tyre repair. So yeah, you can see where they're coming from in converting this one. Yeah, quite a funky little thing. I really like the really stubby overhangs on this vehicle. It's even got some sort of body kit on it as well, I think, unless they come with that as standard. So quite a funky little thing. Well, let's check it out inside. Now, being such a small car, you'd expect it to have next to no room, but I'm just going to turn the camera around. So function-wise, I'm just going to fire it up. Oh, foot on the brake, Peter. I should know that by now. I've done enough of these. We've got all your electric windows. Oh, hang on. That's the Japanese radio that come with all of these. That'll be removed and a UK spec one fitted. But as you can see, you've got all your electric windows, electric mirrors, which of course fold up. So this particular one, it's got stop start on a button, and look at this little cute feature. It's a little cup holder, little tiny one, little one. And then down here we've got controls for the sliding door. So if I press it shut, you can see it automatically closes. So that could be quite a nice feature on a campsite. Steering wheel, it's leather rimmed, hasn't got any distracting buttons on it. A nice crystal clear instruments. Nothing too exciting there. Wiper stalk on the left, indicators on the right, as in typical Japanese fashion. Automatic gearbox, a standard, as most Japanese vehicles have, which is always great. Obviously it's got air conditioning, so you've got all your controls here. For your temperature, low, where's the AC? That's the AC on. I'll just switch that off. I'll just turn that off so it stops making the noise. Plenty of storage down here. I think you've got a 12-volt socket, storage tray, presumably another little cup holder, and another little storage pocket at the bottom. And then over here, what's that? Oh, we've got a curry hook, a takeaway hook, and lots of paperwork. One of those sort of Japanese toll things, I think. So lots of bits and pieces on it. This particular one, 26,000 kilometres, so next to no mileage on it, and it's reflected in the seat trim. And also on this seat, how about that? Well, I wasn't expecting that. A nice little storage tray. And check this out. It even comes out. Maybe you could do your shopping in that and just pop it back in. Brilliant. What a clever bit of design. And then to close it all up. Brilliant. Really like that. So yeah, what a nice little thing. I suppose we better take it for a drive now. Now I believe it's got the 1.2 litre engine, which is shared with quite a few other models. So there's never any issue with Japanese parts anyway, but I think it's shared with a few European models like the Vauxhall Agilis. So quite a few options available. Oh, truck just pulled straight out of me without even looking. What a wally. So yeah, we'll just take it just a quick spin, because I've never driven one, and I always like to take these things out and just see what it's like. So it's an automatic gearbox, 1.2 litre. It's tiny, it's absolutely tiny. I'll put the exact dimensions on screen, but look how much headroom I have. I can wear a top hat. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm 6'2". It makes me look like an Oompa Loompa in here, so quite bizarre really. Well, the first thing to notice, and this is an odd thing to say, considering the size of the vehicle, it drives like a bigger vehicle. I've got so much room ahead of me, quite a large windscreen, quite a large expanse of glass to the side. To think it's such a diminutive vehicle is quite bizarre. It does not feel like a small car. I keep saying car, obviously it's a little van, but these are very much in the sort of, this isn't a K car because it's got a slightly larger engine, but it's very much in that kind of compact, tiny little efficient vehicle mode. Yeah, it's super smooth. And what's the steering lock like? Pretty good. It's only got little donut-sized wheels, so I guess there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of room needed for them to get some good angles. Just come out of this angle junction. There's a car coming up, so let's test the performance of the mighty Delica D2. Right, that's up to 60. Not too bad. It's not the fastest vehicle, not the slowest. It's okay. Now, being such a small vehicle, it's probably better suited for a town environment to replace a family car. And I know they're going to put a side conversion in the back of this, The details are still being worked out, but it's going to be quite a compact one. It'll be for 1 or 2 people, sort of no more than that. But yeah, an interesting budget priced compact little vehicle. Yeah, if you're in the market for a camping car, why not check one of these out? Well, I have to say, it was a bit of a surprise driving this. I wasn't expecting it to be so sprightly and actually just good fun to drive. And it feels like a big car. It doesn't feel like a little tiny car. My son's girlfriend has a Corsa, and I've driven that lots of times, and it feels like a tiny little underpowered car. It's not a lot of fun. This is cute and cheeky, little nimble, nip and tuck kind of car. Yeah, it's interesting. Well worth checking out at Wellhouse.